I was really upset. And you should never feel angry with God. This is just my truth. I was really angry, really upset, confused. Like I was like, God, why? Like this is an opportunity that would be so good for me. And even though, because what? Hey y'all, welcome to the Shadea Renee's podcast. Grab your favorite water, your favorite snack, whatever you like, and let's lock into this video. Hey guys, welcome back to the Shadea Renee's podcast. Wow! Guys, if you're my A1 day one, thank you so much for staying. Thank you so much for being a part of the family. I really appreciate you. And if you are new here, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Here we are, a happy place, a positive space where you can love, heal, grow, laugh, a lot of laugh, cry, every form of healing in its own way. For today's video, we're talking about when God says no. Yes, when God shuts down your plans, when you really want something and God is like, yeah, no, we're not, that is not going to happen. It's not going to work that way. I remember a time in my life where I struggled so much in this apartment because I couldn't like understand why. I couldn't understand why things wouldn't work the way I want them to work. And I just couldn't understand, like, God knows I want this thing. In my mind, I'm ready for this thing. And God is like, no. So I'm not talking about where if you want something and it's okay if you get it, and then if you don't get it, it's still okay. I'm talking about that when you want something and when you seriously think you're ready for it, and when you know that this is the next move, it's your best move, when you know this is the comeback you're looking for, and when you know this is the relationship you need, when you know this is where you want to be, this is what you deserve. I'm talking about that kind of no. The hard no. The no that shakes your world, shocks you, and everything feels like it's falling apart. And everything feels like you're not moving, you're standing still. That kind of no. Oh, let's jump into the video. I remember a time where I really wanted to move to Florida. I've been wanting to move to Florida since about 2013. And I had like about between 2013 and 2023, I had so many, wow, that's a 10-year span. I had so many opportunities to come to Florida. But things just never aligned. And you hear me say this like a million times, I'm gonna say it again. Passion is my fuel. But even though passion is my fuel, I love to make sure I'm staying within the will of God. Because like I said in, I think my first episode video, I think it's a failure video. No matter what you do, no matter what you plan, no matter how you think it's gonna work the way you want it to work, it's always gonna fall back where God is gonna be the one in charge. God is large and He's in charge. And that's how it just is always gonna be, whether we like it or not. And I remember being saved. So I got saved in 2012 officially. And I remember being saved seriously this time around. And I decided that, okay, I want to stay in the will of God. Whatever I do, I want it to be in the will of God. So I really wanted to move to Florida so bad. I'm originally from Jamaica. Big up, big up, big up. Jamaica, the beautiful islands of Jamaica. And Florida is just Jamaica vibe all day, every day. Minus the heat wave that we're going through right now. But it's just Jamaica vibes all day, every day. So I just wanted to pick Florida. That's just where I was. I knew in my heart, I knew in my mind that was where I was meant to be. And the opportunity would present itself, boom, decline. God shut it down. And I'm like, I struggled so much that first time. I got the decline to not come to Florida because I knew in my heart that I needed to go, but I also knew in my heart that this wasn't the decision I was supposed to make. So I remember just being mad at God. I'm like, God, why would you do this to me? Like, why would you like rob me of the opportunity to be with my mom? Because my mom was living for Florida at that time, but I was living in New York. So I'm like, God, why would you rob me the opportunity of being with my mom? Like, why would you rob me the opportunity of this new beginning? You know, what if that's where my husband is? Like, what if that's where like my destiny is? Like, I could go to my mom's church. All these things I'm sitting here negotiating with God after he done said no. And in my heart and my spirit, at the time I was developing a relationship with God. I didn't really have a solid relationship with God, but I could understand when he was saying yes and when he was saying no. And the second time the opportunity came around, this time I was getting an apartment on my mom's building. Okay? An apartment in my mom's building. So you knew this was a solid yes. Like this was a solid let's do it. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm getting an apartment in my mom's building. I could probably work with my mom, do something that she's doing, or I could get another job. I have so much experience under my belt. Like, I'm ready. What you think? Shut it down. No. I'm like, what? At this point, I'm like, God, should I, if Florida is not what you want from me, release the desire off of my heart. Because there's no way you want me to go to Florida. You have me with this desire on my heart, and you're shutting me down every time the opportunity presents itself. Just just shut it down. Like if this is not what you want from me, show me. Because clearly it can be what you want from me. Because if it was what you wanted from me, I would have been like in Florida. Like I'm getting the opportunity. I'm getting an apartment on my mom's building. I could work with her. There's so much I could do. And I was like, nope, that's not what we're doing right now. I'm like, okay, fine. And I remember, so fast forward, that's two of the experiences with moving to Florida. And then fast forward, the opportunity presented itself again to come to Florida. And this time it was through work. So I got a work transfer and the opportunity presented itself to me to come here in Florida. But because I just got shut down so many times, in the back of my head, I have this, God is going to say no. Like it's not going to work out. I'm going to push. I'm going to try to make it happen, but it's not going to work out. But I knew within me that God wanted it to work. So let me give you the background, the backstory. So I applied for a transfer from my job, and my job said yes, they approved the transfer to Florida. However, this is Central Florida, and this is not the side of Florida that anyone I know lives besides my aunt, right? And my aunt is not party, she's not hanging out, she's not like the co-op type. She's like very chill, very laid back. So I'm like, you need to make it make sense. Whatever. In my head, I'm thinking, Florida's Florida. We're gonna make it work. I'll make it work. I drive. I can make it work. So the transfer started. Then I applied for an extra job. The extra job called me, and things were looking great. I started looking at apartments. Applied for an apartment. Um, I needed some more time. I needed some more information with the apartment. So I'm like, you know what? This is too much. It's like this is too much of a hassle. I'm gonna just kill it. Probably this isn't God's will. So I went back to my HR and my job. And my job was like, well, if you don't want to go, if you want to cancel, we can cancel. And you stay here. I mean, we don't want you to leave anyway, so we don't care. We can cancel it for you. And then I spoke to the leasing officer who was helping with my home, and I asked him what was his opinion. And he was like, well, the place you're trying to go, I used to work there before. It's not really my kind of vibe, but this is how it is, XYZ, ABC. If you want to try it, try it. I'm not going to rob you of the opportunity, especially because you sound so excited. But I can tell you, working that place and living down here compared to the amount you be paying in bills, living bills monthly, it's gonna be kind of a stretch. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's something that you want to do? And I kid you not, like usually I would try to shy away from those things. I'm like, you know what, you're right. Like, okay, that's cool, whatever. I won't come, I won't go, it's cool. So I changed my mind, made up my mind, I'm not going. Anyways, so here he is. He's going over the calls he's made for the week, and he calls me. So when I saw the number, I'm like, hello? And he's like, hey, how are you? You're not coming. And I'm like, but you told me not to come. You told me the job is crazy. You told me that everything is crazy. Like, it wouldn't, like, the math wouldn't match. So what are you, like, talking about? You told me, like, not to come. So he says, well, I have to tell you, we have a special. So the amount of money I was paying, like, it declined by like $100 or something like that. So he's like, well, we have a special going on right now. So it's up to you. If you want to come, give it a try. We have the special just dropped, and it's for one of our biggest units. I'm like, sign me up, boo. So I was like, at this point, I was excited, but I was like, I was confused because I'm like, I'm about to go cancel my transfer, and now you calling me and telling me this, but I'm excited, and I'm just like, don't know what way to go at the same time. So I say, you know what? All right, let's. I am gonna take the opportunity, and I am going to go to Florida, and here I am in Florida. So 10 minutes of just straight ramble, right? I hope you learned something by that though. But here I am, right, in Florida. And I feel so good. Since I've been here, I've been so much more closer to God. Everything is working the way it should work. And what being here in Florida isn't just preparing me only for short term goals and short term plans and short term stuff. It's literally preparing me for the long term. And not only is that, God was able to sit me down, put me where He wanted me to be, to do what He called me to do in His perfect timing. So sometimes when God tells you no, I get it. I get the feeling. You get angry, you get confused. People don't want to use the word angry, but I'm human and I can express how I felt. I was really upset, and you should never feel angry with God. This is just my truth. I was really angry, really upset, confused. Like I was like, God, why? Like this is an opportunity that would be so good for me. And even though God didn't really why I couldn't move to Florida from 2013 to 2019, I learned so much. I learned so much stuff about the working world. I learned so much stuff about business. I gave birth to my businesses. I met amazing people. I had amazing opportunities. I got some more experience with a lot of things I could use in my future. And if like location is so important, because if I had been in Florida, I probably wouldn't have had those experiences. So it just wasn't time yet for me. And fast forward to now, I can't see why God didn't say don't go, but I can understand why God said don't go, because I knew within myself He was saying no. And sometimes when we hear no, we are so stressed out, and we always say God's no or God's rejection is just really God's protection. And sometimes God's no doesn't mean no, it's never going to happen. Sometimes it means not yet, not on your watch, on my watch, not on your timing, on my perfect timing. And then sometimes God's no is a no, because He has better for you. He has greater for you. You weren't called to that. That wasn't for you. And I remember I've had relationships where I thought it was going perfect. I thought we could work out, we could do good. I've even had like Christian relationships where both of us are Christians and both of us are pursuing God. And it just never, that wasn't God's will for my life. That wasn't God's plan for my life. It just never worked out because God has greater plans. And I just want to encourage you today with my story that even though God can say no to something, just know it's for your best. Just know it's for your protection. And when you don't feel at peace about something, talk to God. Use some of the same steps I gave to you in the how to build a relationship with God. And you talk to Him, you consult Him. I would even recommend a fast. Fasting is very good. Fasting isn't just good for you spiritually, it's also good for your body, to give you a reset within your body. If you guys want a video on fasting, I could do one of that for you too. The spiritual side of fasting, actually. But I remember like I fasted, I prayed, and I just needed God's clarity on this. And when He told me no, even though I was upset, I was at peace afterwards. After being the brat, after being the brat and calming down, girl, just stay over there. Okay, all right, just chill. Yeah, after being like the brat, calming down, coming back to myself, I realized that no, I can't just try to jump ahead of God, and I can't just try to convince God. And even after calming down, I also realized that I was so wrong. I was so rude and disrespectful to God, because how could I possibly be angry with God? He's in control. He loves me. God wants the best for me. God loves us like crazy, crazy love. How could I possibly be angry with the person who's protecting me? How could I be angry with the creator who created my path already for me? Like, my journey is clear. My journey is set. And can I tell you some of the relationships I developed and formed within those years helped me and is still helping me for where I am right now. So I want to tell you that sometimes it won't make sense at all. Like, it won't be revealed to you at all why God said no. But just take encouragement and know that whether it's revealed to you or it's not revealed to you, God's plan is always the best for your life. And God's plan is perfect for your life. God's plan for you is not a one size fits all. So if you see somebody doing something and you see them accomplish something and comparison starts to kick in, you have to use your crazy faith and kick comparison out the door and tell them no. This is not a one size fit all kind of life. God has his perfect path for me, his perfect plan for me, and I trust God. I trust the plans he has for my life. I trust that they're perfect, and I trust that they are going to come to pass. And I remember also a time where I just became a Christian and I just wanted to go ahead of God. I just wanted it to be like Christian, serve, marry, kids, serve with the husband, grow the kids in that order. And I just felt like my life should be that way. And God was like, hold up. Just hold up. Because what? I'm like, wait, God, but that's what I want. He's like, listen, please, not today. I swear sometimes God be like, Renee, not today. Like, I ain't got a time. I ain't got a time. I just wanted things to work for me in that order, because I'm a planner. I'm a person who I like to plan things and say, okay, if I want A, B, C, D, F, G, and that's how I wanted it. And I said, okay, I can bring my planning ways to being saved, and I want it to be A, B, C. And God is like, no, that's not how it works in this department. And over here, we don't work like that. Like, we don't work like in the world over here. We don't do that. I call the shots here, right? I'm the boss and I'm in charge over here. And I was like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I like being saved. You don't get to call the shots. I don't know about that. But I can promise you, I can assure you that God's plan for you is perfect. God's will for you is perfect. Do I still get upset when God tells me no? I don't. Honestly, I don't. Because now I know it's for the reason. Now I get it. And especially moving here to Florida, I so understand why he would say no based upon how the economy is, based upon how things are. I could so understand why it was a no. I could so understand why wouldn't have been ready for this step in that time with all of that which I had going on. So just know God's plans for you are greater and they're better, and they're there to prosper you. They're there to be perfect for you, and they're laid out for you the way they should be. And if you ever feel discouraged, if you ever feel like, God, I don't know, this is something I really wanted. And if you feel like God is saying no about this, you talk to God and it's a no, and it's confirmed to you that it's a no, just know that it's for your best. I know it's hard. I know the no's are hard, especially when they're coming from God. I know they're hard. I know sometimes you want that job so bad, but God said no. I know sometimes you want that relationship, and you've invested time, you've invested effort, you've invested so much, and God said no. And you're like, what do I do? I know sometimes you find the material things that are perfect for you. That you see a way so clear and it looks so good, and you think that it's gonna fit your life, and you feel like that's for me. This is my path, and that is the way I'm supposed to go. And God says no, and He shuts it down. I get it. I've been there. And if I should tell you the amount of time God told me no about something where I saw it working out clearly and perfect, this video would probably go over, like way over. But now I just handle it with a lot more grace, knowing that the plans are perfect that God has for me. And who would you trust? Like, really, if you look at it for real, who would you trust? Would you trust yourself, who you make mistakes, who you sometimes you want something in the moment, but that's not what you really want long term? You just want it because somebody else has it, or you just want it because you want to experience it, or you just feel like you need to experience it? Or would you trust the creator, the one in charge, the one who has the plans and the path already for your life laid out, the perfect plan, the perfect alignment for you, in the perfect timing? Like, who would you trust? If you should answer that question, I hope it would be that you would say, I trust God. I hope it would be that you would say, I trust the one that's large and in charge, because God knows best. God knows best. And I don't want to just leave you with encouragement to say, yes, God's always going to give you bigger and better, and it's going to happen right away, and it's going to just come to pass right after. No, things take time. And even though we live in time and God doesn't live in time, things take time. Nothing happens just instantly like that. Sometimes it can feel instantly, especially when you've given it to God and you've given God the upper handle. You can feel like, boom, that was quick. God, like, you showed, I was having fun when you showed up with that thing. Like, I was just doing me and you showed up with that relationship that, is leading to marriage. Like, God, I was just living my best life when you came up with that idea, Like, sometimes it's going to be like that. But just know that when God says no, He truly means, I got you in a major way. He truly means, I'm going to take care of you in a better way. When God says no, it truly means, nah, I got greater for you. That's too small. Think bigger, baby. Open your eyes and think bigger. I got something much better that I think you will love and I think you'd appreciate. You ever go to a store and they be like, no, we don't have your size, but we have something else that looks better. Like, it'll fit you so much better, and it actually looked so much better. That's God. He got you just like that. So stay encouraged until our next video. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you so much for watching our podcast. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for coming into my home and sitting with me, chatting it up with me. And until next time, remember, you are awesome, you are amazing, and you were created to do amazing things. And God loves you like crazy, crazy, crazy. Bye.